Hey there, welcome back to the Build Boldly podcast. I'm Allison Barber, and today we are celebrating National Women's Small Business Month with a little something different. I have worked for entrepreneurs, I have been an entrepreneur myself, and now I have the privilege of leading the marketing department here at Rise Commercial District, helping entrepreneurs like you. So here's the deal. Being a woman entrepreneur isn't just about running a business. I can say from experience and from talking with women entrepreneurs as the marketing director here at Rise that women entrepreneurs face things that men entrepreneurs simply do not face. We are juggling home life balance, we're juggling the family calendar, we're juggling our health, we're juggling our kids' health. If you have kids, we have a lot on our plate, not to even begin to get into how do we create more sales? What do we do with social media trends? How do we hire the right people? The list is simply endless. And today, I just want you to know I know how overwhelming that feels, which is why I wanted to share something a little bit different. Instead of more tips and tricks, today I am going to be sharing 5 books that I believe that every woman entrepreneur should have on her shelf. So, are you ready? This will help you simplify, build your people, clarify your message, protect your mental health, and serve in ways that make you simply unforgettable. Sound good? Let's dive in. Okay, the first book I want to talk about is The Plan by Kendra Adachi. And I just want to tell you, I bawled like a baby through this book. And you're probably thinking, Allison, that is crazy because this is a time management book. Why would you be crying in a time management book? I felt the same way. Why am I crying? Um, and I think that the interesting thing about this book is that she says 93% of time management books are written by men. Let that sink in. 93% of time management books are written by men. And I kept wondering why I was just buying another calendar or another planner or trying to figure out a digital solution when I was drawn back to a paper solution. And honestly, I felt like something was broken with me. Why can't I just figure this out? I personally take a lot of pride in being able to solve a lot of complex issues very easily. So the fact that I couldn't figure this out really had me kind of frustrated. And when she said in her book that our schedules and time management is not a puzzle where we're trying to fit every piece perfectly, it's more like a painting where you can go back and repaint over areas, correct mistakes, make it something different. And it's much more fluid and organic. It really resonated with me. And I think it would resonate with you too. The other thing that I love about Kendra Adachi is that she breaks things down in such a simple, practical way, very grace filled, very full of humanity, which I am a big fan of, but also very practical things that you can implement today to help you solve the problem that you're dealing with. So, like I said, I bawled like a baby through this book, but it wasn't because I felt so hopeless. It was because I felt very seen and I felt hope that this book might be what I needed to get my act together. And it really has moved the needle for me. And I hope it does for you too. So I know as an entrepreneur, you're juggling so many things. And what this book did for me, and what I really love about my job here at Rise, is that it minimized the complexity of my schedule. And I love to talk with entrepreneurs that rent space with us here at Rise and hear how our space has minimized complexity for them as well. And so this feels like a very on brand book for Rise Commercial District. And it felt like a book that every woman entrepreneur needs on her bookshelf. So pick one thing that moves the needle. She says the problem is that you have, when everything is the priority, nothing is the priority. So I want to challenge you, if you don't hear anything else out of this podcast episode, pick one thing to focus on today. And then tomorrow, pick one more thing to focus on and see how that moves the needle for you. I hope that helps. All right, moving on to book number two that I think every woman entrepreneur should have on her shelf. That book is The Life Council by Laura Tremaine. And Laura flips the idea that we can go solo in life. And she talks about 10 friends that every woman needs on her life council. Here's what I can tell you about when I read this book. I wanted to have one type of friend that checked all the boxes for me, that could help me with business advice, that could help me with personal advice, that would have the same hobbies as me, that would enjoy the same movies and shows and music. And I was constantly disappointed in other people and constantly disappointed with myself and feeling like I was somehow missing this unicorn friend that was out there and I just needed to keep searching. And I think this book really flipped that idea on its head for me and gave me the permission to say there's lots of different types of people that fill lots of different roles in your life. And I think, especially as entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship can be so lonely. You don't have a built in community around you. You feel like all of the pressure and responsibility is on your shoulders. And so, this book is one that I think will really help you to understand all the different roles on your life council that will make your life more fulfilling and in turn grow your business. And one of the seats on the life council is the mentor. And we'll get in a little bit to this in another book that I talk about. But what I love about my job here at Rise is that each one of our Rise locations has a built in group of mentors and colleagues with entrepreneurs that are doing the same thing that you're doing. I hear from our customers all of the time about how awesome it is to have a next door neighbor that's struggling with the same things. They live in the same community. And so, if you're an entrepreneur and you feel like you're going alone, I want to encourage you to find a community, find mentors, find a business bestie is another seat on the council. Grab this book and find the places that your life council maybe has some vacant seats and see what you can do about filling it. Okay, moving on. The third book that I feel like every woman entrepreneur needs on her bookshelf is Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. Okay, can I be honest with you that for way too long, it was way too hard to describe what we do here at Rice Commercial District. We are in a new industry. We're kind of breaking the model, and it's so exciting and it's so fun. But it's also really challenging to educate people about what we do, how we do it, and what that looks like. And this book really helped me take our marketing messaging from confusing and cloudy to really clear. Brene Brown says it this way: clear is kind. And when our message is clear, it attracts the right people. So I want to encourage you to not just focus on having products that are super great or having team members that are super great, but really look at your business and look at your messaging. How are you talking about your brand? How are you talking about your story? How are you talking to your clients? It really helped us to see that from Donald Miller's perspective, he recommends that you position yourself as the guide of the story and not the hero of the story. Everybody's telling a story, everybody's living a story, and how you position yourself as a business owner or as the business is so critical. So we learned to position ourselves as that guide or that mentor to say, hey, you're building a business. We can handle this space. You know your customers, you know your business, you know what you need. Let us handle this. We've already been here, we've already done that. So, what could you position yourself as helping your customers? This book helps you narrow that down. He gives you step by step instructions. It has been a game changer for the Rice Commercial District Marketing Department. And I think it will be for your business as well. Okay, the fourth book that we're talking about that I think every single woman entrepreneur should have on her shelf is Try Softer by Andy Colbert. Now, Pat hit the nail on the head last week when he was talking about mental health. So many entrepreneurs are focused on growing their business, trying harder, moving faster, building bigger, building better. And the premise of this book is that maybe you shouldn't try harder, maybe you should try softer. And as a type A Enneagram 3, I am really good at trying harder, doing different, adjusting things, and maybe getting different results by trying it harder or different. And this book really challenged my mindsets to take a step back, be a little bit more kind and human with myself and with those around me, and to try softer. And so, what does trying softer look like? Um, One thing for me is slowing down and giving my brain and my body some space to recover. So I'm going to give you two examples of what this book helped me with. Number one is um, when I take the time to go on a walk and clear my mind, so many things that I've been trying to figure out for a long time suddenly start to kind of come together and click when I am clearing my mind and giving myself some space physically, mentally, emotionally. The other thing that I have at my house personally, I have a puzzle table. I love to do puzzles. And I cannot tell you how many times I've hit a wall with work or with something that I've just been thinking about. And I go sit down and I start working on a puzzle. And somehow, as I'm working those pieces physically, my brain starts working some of those other pieces mentally. And for a long time, I would argue, okay, I'm wasting time. I'm doing this puzzle that makes no sense. It's not helping anything. It's not adding to the bottom line anywhere in my life. And what I came to realize is that those walks and putting those puzzles together actually moved the needle more than I could have ever realized with the actual bottom line in our business, in my family, in my personal life, in my relationships. It gave my brain and my body the space and the time to be human, to try softer, and to get the same sort of end product results that I would have loved to have had by continuing to just try harder. So, this translates to entrepreneurship because I spend a lot of time talking to business owners that are just trying more and more and more. And I honestly, I have to convince them that, like, hey, give yourself some space, literally, physically at our locations. Give your business the space that it needs. Your business deserves this space. Give yourself the legitimacy of saying, I don't just run my business from home. It's okay to run your business from home, but some people need that encouragement to say, like, you are a legitimate business. They have that imposter syndrome going on. Say, my business isn't big enough for that kind of space. I don't really need that space. I can do fine without it. And I want to encourage you to grab this book and see what it might be like to try softer, to give yourself some time and some space physically, mentally, emotionally, and see what that might do for your business. Sometimes our mindsets are our biggest barriers, in my experience. All right, moving on to our fifth and final book that I think every woman entrepreneur needs to have on their bookshelf, Unreasonable Hospitality by Will Guidara. He talks about going above and beyond and doing things that surprise and delight people, and how that creates an experience that no one forgets. All right, we know it and we forget it. I am guilty as charged. I know that doing unexpected things to surprise and delight people is an unforgettable experience. And sometimes I get so wrapped up in the things that need to be done that I assume make a bigger impact that I forget that those unexpected texts and flowers and note cards and all of those things go such a long way. Think about a time that you have been working with a business, whether it was a customer service experience, whether it was a restaurant that brought a free appetizer or a free dessert, or something that surprised you. How did that land for you as a consumer? I would guess that you probably told a couple friends about that experience. And so it's easy for us as entrepreneurs to forget that by going a little bit further than we would think might be necessary, it can actually turn customers into evangelists for our brands. And it can create an experience that keeps those customers much more sticky. They stay around longer, they renew, they make multiple purchases, they tell their friends. That is what this book is all about. It's all about figuring out what are we doing well, but what can we do to surprise and delight our customers? You can lead with professionalism and with heart as a woman entrepreneur. And I think sometimes we get bought into a lie that's like, okay, I have to do this the same way that every other business is run. And I think one of the amazing things about women and women entrepreneurship is that we have a softer side to us and we have an approach that sometimes is more surprising and more delightful than some of our other counterparts. I want to encourage you to lean into that. And I think that this book will really help you do that. So that is it. There you have it. 5 books that I think you should add to your bookshelf. Let's go through them again. Number 1, The Plan by Kendra Adachi. Number 2, The Life Council by Laura Tremaine. Number 3, Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. Number 4, Try Softer by Andy Colbert. And number 5, Unreasonable Hospitality by Will Guidara. Listen, success is not about going solo. Simplify your systems, surround yourself with the right people, clarify your message, care for yourself, and serve with heart. That's the playbook for building boldly. At Rise, we believe the same thing. Your space, your support system, and your community should give you the confidence and the support that you need to grow without chaos. So here's my challenge for you this week. Pick up one of these books. Just one, not all of them. Unless you're an overachiever, you want to get all of them, that's great. But just one. Pick up one of these books this week. Read it, highlight it, put one idea into practice this month. And if you do, let me know. I'd love to hear what stuck out to you. Send me a message on Instagram, DM us on the Rice Commercial District Instagram account, shoot me a message on LinkedIn. I want to hear what's sticking out for you. Thank you for joining me today. Keep cheering on women entrepreneurs in your world. And remember, if you're going to build, build boldly.